Picture this. It is 12:01 a.m. on a normal Tuesday. You are asleep. In your bank account, you have $10,000. In your wallet, you have $20. Everything feels normal. But in the next few hours, the entire 250-year-old US financial system is going to break. No war, no missiles, no invasion. Just one thing, the world suddenly decides the US dollar is no longer safe. 2 a.m. Tokyo time, the foreign exchange market in Japan opens. Normally, the dollar is the most stable currency on earth. It is what countries use to buy oil, trade goods, and store wealth. But tonight is different. A rumor explodes online. Saudi Arabia is going to stop accepting dollars for oil. That is huge, because since the 1970s, every country has needed dollars to buy oil. This is called the petrodollar system. Within minutes, China reacts. They hold $850 billion in US government bonds. They start selling. This is called a panic sell. In just 10 minutes, the dollar drops 15% against the euro. That is the biggest drop since 1971. For context, the dollar usually moves 0.5% in a whole day. This is 30 times worse. 4 a.m. New York time, the chairman of the Federal Reserve gets woken up by 3 phones ringing at once. The dollar index, which measures the dollar against other currencies, just fell from 104 to 70. Every bank in Europe is dumping dollars. Your $10,000 is still showing as $10,000 in your app, but its buying power is now only $7,000. You lost 30% of your wealth while sleeping, and you do not even know it yet. 6 a.m. Eastern time, people on the East Coast wake up. The first thing they see is a phone alert, dollar in freefall. CNBC, Fox News, CNN, every channel cuts to breaking news. Gas stations react first. Here is why oil is priced in dollars worldwide. If the dollar becomes worthless, oil companies need more dollars to get the same value. At 6:30 a.m., Shell and ExxonMobil update their systems. In Houston, Texas, regular gas jumps from $3.80 per gallon to $8.20 per gallon. In Los Angeles, it hits $9.50. People panic. They grab their keys and rush to fill up. Within 1 hour, there are lines 2 miles long at every gas station in America. Some stations run out of gas by 8 a.m. 8:00 a.m. The stock market is set to open in 90 minutes. But pre-market trading already shows the Dow Jones is down 5,000 points. That would be the biggest crash in history. The New York Stock Exchange has safety rules called circuit breakers. If the market drops 7%, trading stops for 15 minutes. At the same time, Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo apps all crash. Why? Because 100 million Americans are trying to log in at once to pull their money out. But here is the scary truth about banks. For every $100 you deposit, the bank only keeps $10 in cash. The other $90 is loaned out to other people for mortgages and car loans. This is legal. It is called fractional reserve banking. If everyone wants their money back at the same time, the bank cannot pay. This is called a bank run. The last big one was in 1933. 9:30 a.m. The New York Stock Exchange opens. It immediately drops 7% in 60 seconds. Trading stops. This is circuit breaker level 1. 15 minutes later, it reopens. It drops another 7%. Trading stops again. By 12 p.m., the Dow has lost 12,000 points. Your 401k, your IRA, your kids' college fund, all down 40%. Walmart, Target, and Costco send emergency emails to all stores. New rule, update prices every hour. Why? Because the dollar is dropping so fast that a TV that costs $500 at 9 a.m. might need to cost $650 at 12 p.m. just for the store to not lose money. 1:00 p.m. You go to the grocery store. A gallon of milk was $4.20 this morning. Now the tag says $9.80. A dozen eggs is $14. Bread is $8. People are not shopping. They are hoarding. Carts are filled with rice, beans, water, and toilet paper. The checkout lines are 50 people deep. Credit card machines are slow. Visa and MasterCard systems are overloaded because 200 million people are swiping cards at once. Stores start putting up handwritten signs, cash only, but there is no cash. ATMs are empty. Each ATM only holds about $20,000. The first 50 people in line empty it. By 2 p.m., 90% of ATMs in New York, Chicago, and Miami have a sign that says out of service. 3:00 p.m. *. The Federal Reserve holds an emergency meeting. They have two choices, and both are terrible. Option 1, raise interest rates to 20%. This would make people want to hold dollars because they get paid high interest. But it would also mean your 30-year mortgage payment jumps from $1,800 a month to $4,500 a month. Millions would lose their homes overnight. Option 2, print trillions of new dollars and give them to banks. This stops the bank runs, but it makes every dollar worth even less. This is what causes hyperinflation. They choose option 2. 5:00 p.m. *. The president gives a speech from the Oval Office. The United States dollar remains the strongest currency in the world. We are taking all actions necessary, but nobody believes it. On Amazon, the top-selling items are gold coins, silver bars, water filters, and gas cans. A 1-ounce gold coin was $2,400 yesterday. Now it is $8,000, and most sellers say out of stock. History matters here. In 1923, Germany had hyperinflation. People needed a wheelbarrow of cash to buy bread. In 2008, Zimbabwe had it. Their $100 trillion bill could not buy a candy bar. In 2018, Venezuela had it. People were weighing cash instead of counting it. The US thought it could never happen here. Until today. 7:00 p.m. * Gas is now $18.60 per gallon in most states. Uber and Lyft announced that 90% of drivers are offline. Why? Because if a ride costs $20 but the gas to drive there costs $25, drivers lose money. Domino's, Pizza Hut, and DoorDash suspend delivery. A large pizza that was $12.99 this morning is now $47. Nobody is ordering. Restaurants switch to cash only because credit card companies pay them 24 hours later. In 24 hours, the dollar could drop another 20%. If a restaurant sells a $50 meal today, the credit card company might only give them $40 of value tomorrow. They cannot survive that. 9:00 p.m. * Rolling blackouts begin. Here is why. 40% of U.S. electricity comes from natural gas power plants. Natural gas companies buy gas from drillers. Drillers now want cash up front because they do not trust the dollar. Power companies do not have that much cash, so they shut off plants. Texas, California, and Florida are hit first. 250 million Americans lose power. Fridges turn off. All the milk, meat, and eggs people panic bought start to rot. A bag of ice at the gas station, if you can find one, costs $50. Hospitals run on generators. They have 72 hours of fuel. After that, things get deadly. 12 a.m. 24 hours later * the dollar has lost 85% of its value in one day. Your $10,000 can now only buy $1,500 worth of stuff. The minimum wage is still $7.25 per hour by law, but a McDonald's Big Mac is $28. Working a full day does not even buy you lunch. People stop going to work. Looting starts in 12 major cities. The National Guard is deployed to protect grocery stores and gas stations, not banks. Banks are already closed by government order. They call it a bank holiday to stop the panic. But everyone knows the truth. The banks have no money. Day 2 today 7 * The US government announces a new dollar. The rule is simple. 100 old dollars equals 1 new dollar. They hope this resets prices. A $28 burger becomes 0.28 new dollars. But the problem is trust. If the government can change the money once, they can do it again. People do not trust the new dollar, so the barter system comes back. This is how humans traded before money. You have baby formula, I have antibiotics. We trade. Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist are flooded with posts. Trading 20 gallons of gasoline for 1 ounce of gold. Will fix your car for 30 cans of food. Bitcoin jumps to $1 million per coin. But there is a problem. No internet means no Bitcoin, and the blackouts are getting worse. Day 7 today 30 * imports stop completely. This is critical. America imports 15% of its food, 80% of its medicine, and 90% of its electronics. Other countries say, we do not want your dollars anymore. Pay us in gold, food, or oil. The US does not have enough of those to trade. Insulin, which 8 million Americans need to live, was $300 per vial. Now it is $4,000 on the black market, if you can find it. Pharmacies have armed guards. Hospitals start turning away patients who cannot pay up front. The death toll rises, not from war, but from lack of medicine. 30 days later, * the US military is still the most powerful on Earth. 11 aircraft carriers, 750 bases worldwide, 1.3 million active soldiers. But tanks need diesel, jets need jet fuel, soldiers need food and paychecks. The government tries to pay soldiers in new dollars. but other countries will not sell fuel for new dollars. So the military starts to shrink back to US soil. To pay for everything, the government prints even more money. This is the death spiral. The more you print, the less it is worth. The less it is worth, the more you need to print. This is called hyperinflation. At its peak, prices double every 24 hours. A loaf of bread is $10 on Monday, $20 on Tuesday, $40 on Wednesday. So how does it end? Asterisk history shows 3 ways. 1. A new government takes over and issues a totally new currency backed by gold or land. 2. The US joins a new global currency with other countries. 3. The country breaks into regions that use their own local money. All 3 have happened before in other nations. Here is the biggest lesson. Asterisk the dollar has value because we all agree it does. Since 1971, it is not backed by gold. It is backed by trust in the US government. That trust took 250 years to build, but it can be destroyed in 24 hours. Once broken, it takes decades to rebuild. So what can you do? Asterisk experts who study currency collapse say the same thing. 1. Keep 1 month of cash and small bills at home. If ATMs are dead, $20 bills still work for a while. 2. Store 3 months of food, water, and medicine. 3. Own things that hold value without trust. Gold, silver, land, and skills. A plumber, a farmer, or a mechanic can always trade their skill for food. A dollar is just paper, and paper burns. This is a simulation. It is for education only. But 2008 and 2020 showed us how fragile the system is. The question is not, can this happen? The question is, if it did, what is your plan?